why not have love in business? It may seem like trivia, idealist at best, unrealistic or indeed impractical. But get this, if the greatest gift and need of any human being is love, unconditional, fully accepting all of who you are, love, would that not give room for the human at work that is people like you and me to give of their best? To give of all of who they are, in all of what they do, for all of who you are as leaders, and all of who we are as society, so that the biggest difference can be made. When a person is secure in the love and acceptance they have for themselves, and they know that they are loved and accepted by another, it's amazing, amazing what can be created by them. You see, when you are secure, your mind is less cluttered with worry, anxious thoughts, second guessing, one-upmanship, or indeed plots to advance at another's expense. I have never seen one organization that hasn't been made up or created by people. Yet the topic of love is taboo, or often reduced to the notion of a quick fondle in the photocopier room between two colleagues, or at best expressed by a budding romance between two people keen to find their partners for life. Not that that is not important. But the love that I am talking about is the love that underpins value. The love that underpins value says that you as a human count. You as a human matter. You are more than a means to an end. I will value you not just for what you do, but for who you are. And if love were the driver, then an organization, regardless of its leaning, profit or non-profit, public or private, would have people at every level of the organization full of expression without fear of judgment. People who will be delivering at the very highest levels of performance you can ever imagine. If we spend at least 25 of our living years working for or living with another person, or working in partnership with them, as we've heard today. And if we live till 80 years old, that's about a third of our lives spent working. Do we not deserve for that third to be our very best season ever? Do we not deserve for it to be a time and a season of joy, abundance, and love? A time when our very best results are delivered and experienced. Yet in today's world, where competition for the consumer, the customer, and the investor is getting fiercer, and the race for the next game changer to discover it is getting faster, and in a bid to give value for money, there's an increased focus on productivity, more effective cost management, and a leaner supply chain. And of course, in the fight to attract the very best talent, everybody, every company is going for, really, how can our purpose, money, and values attract you all? Many an organization and the leaders of them, in recognizing the unique difference and contribution that the human can make, have gone down the route of satisfaction, climate, and now engagement surveys. All designed to unlock the passion and commitment of their people by demonstrating that they can listen to their opinions. We hear you. Your voice is important. Your opinion matters. And in recent times, I have come to learn of organizations recognizing the need for a higher purpose, a desire to contribute to society beyond the financial, and in tandem, an emerging focus on happiness. All very commendable, and particularly so as they provide an endless choice of organizations for you who are and will become leaders in which to pursue your leadership journey, the organizational hook on which to hang your leadership coat. The data out there will, however, tell you that stress in organization is actually on the increase. People, because of their race, their gender, their leaning, their orientation, their differences of opinions, feeling excluded, not included. The CEO or team leader's tent not quite large enough to take everyone. The membership to the club of rewarding employment available only to those who have come to understand the unspoken rules of engagement in the organization they are working in. A Gallup poll for engagement in 2013, looking at employees across 142 countries, discovered that only 13% of the employees were engaged. That means 87% were either disengaged or indifferent. In the United States, only about 32% on average of employees are engaged. And in a bid, a desperate bid to deal with all of this, we see an explosion onto the business landscape of well-being, wellness, mindfulness, and happiness initiatives and such like. Oh my God, fantastic ones. But they're not working. Why not? If love was the focus and if love was addressed in the organizations, wouldn't the need for this much more be reduced? At university, I failed my performance diploma in the piano because I was desperate for acceptance. Just 2 days leading up to my diploma, at a time when I should have been practicing intensively and going for it. In my desperate bid to make friends with this boy and girl who lived down the corridor, I offered to cook them a Nigerian dish. I slaved for hours, confident that my effort would earn their friendship. I finished my cooking, went to their room full of smiles, knocked on the door. They came down the hallway to my room, took my plates, helped themselves to large portions of my food, and walked back to their rooms without me. I didn't join their club. I wasn't invited. And of course, I arrived at my piano diploma downcast and failed. More recently, I observed a company board leadership meeting where a country general manager and his entire team had flown 5 hours to present their investment plan for approval to the board. They had rehearsed for days. Their boss had spent time with them, coached them, given them feedback, and said, hey, this is going to be a walk in the park. And in fact, I'm going to be in the room with you. So they were excited. They arrived at 1:30 p.m. for their 3 p.m. slot on the agenda. At 5:30 p.m., they were rushed into the room and told by the CEO, can you reduce your presentation in half, please? They took courage, did their best. And at the end of the presentation, the CEO turns to their boss, what do you think? What's your view? Their boss, unsure of what the CEO would say, he nodded and just remained silent. The CEO turned to the team and said, well, thank you very much. You did a great job. Fantastic. Well done. We'll come back to you. The team, in their excitement, left the room happy, encouraged, looking forward to the approval of their investment proposal. The postmortem in the boardroom went like this. What do you think? Oh, what a terrible presentation. Illogical, ill-prepared, didn't prepare at all. Clearly not on top of their numbers. Their boss remained silent and nodded in agreement with the CEO. His club membership to the CEO's inner circle must never be put at risk. The question is this: if love was present in that room that day, what would have been the experience of the team? What would the outcome have been? In 2014, I had the privilege and the honor to visit Ethiopia with 4 of my friends from the UK. We visited the home of a single mother of 4. She lived in a tiny room, she and her 4 children. 1 bed, 1 cupboard, 1 bench on which we could all sit. She was living 90 meters from the city's local rubbish dump. She told us with pride about the strategic advantage of her location. It meant that she would be one of the first people to get to the rubbish dump after the lorries had deposited their load. She'd be one of the first to rubbish through for food and to pick up scrap metal so she could go to the market and sell and provide for her family. With her little means, she brewed coffee and made us fresh popcorn. She wore her best outfit. She talked with joy and pride. When we left, she bade us goodbye. She was very happy to see us go. Even though she welcomed us, she didn't envy us or crave our lifestyle. As I sat quietly with my thoughts on the long flight home from Addis Ababa, I wondered how come? How come someone with so little could demonstrate so much joy and love, and yet me and my friends who had so much did not? I wondered how come someone with so little could demonstrate such self-acceptance, and yet me, in my world of plenty, could not. And yet we have the answer. All of us, we have the answer. And that answer is love, the active and operational presence of unconditional love in the workplace. The love that says, I fully accept all of who I am, all of my very being for who I am. The love that says, I accept and value you for all of who you are, every aspect of your very being. The love that says, I will focus on what you can do, not on what you cannot do. The love that says, I will respect you, I will value your opinions, I will respect your right to be different, not an image of me. I will believe in you. And when you tell me that it is not possible to complete the task that I ask you to, rather than resent you, reject you, hate you, instead I will come close to you and try to seek a genuine answer why. What can be possible if love were in business? What would it mean? It would mean that present would be the genuine intent and motivation to contribute to the well-being of others, the consumer, the customer, and society. It would mean a laser focus on integrity and honesty. It means that authenticity will be experienced at levels before never experienced. It means that all interactions in the workplace journey, every single encounter, will come from a place of love, unconditional self-acceptance of oneself and of others. It would mean that job and career interviews will be genuine explorations on what can be created together, your hopes, your ambitions, your wants, and your want-nots. There will be an evaluation of capability, what your strengths are and what you can contribute and to where. Selection will be on the genuine basis of who you are, not whether you're going to fit into some mold. Rejections will be handled with care, explanations given that are true and honest. Clarity and transparency as to what is required and must be present to thrive in organization will be easy. Difference and uniqueness will be celebrated. Diversity and inclusion will be a subject for the history books. Men would celebrate their prowess in cooking and knitting, just as much as they would at golf, rugby, and football. Gender equality campaigns would require less, the increasing cry of the black female wanting to be included and not left behind. Emotional capital, my friends, will be in flow. Performance management will be effective. Feedback given and received honestly and freely without suspicion of motive or agenda. The humility of leadership will glow. No room for egos. The real person behind the status and the job title will emerge. And in so doing, will create an environment and give permission for the real persons to emerge around them. Leadership teams will be cohesive and functional. The value of us over the value of me being held high. The treatment of suppliers big and small, desperate to make ends meet, will come from a place of teamwork and empathy. Integrity in business planning and objective setting would be a given. Everyone, from the CEO right down to the floor cleaner, will understand the value of their contribution and what they're there to do and the role that they're playing in the organization's greater purpose. The result, my friends, will be increased speed in decision making. Because where there is love, there is trust. And with increased speed, you'll save money, you'll save time, and you'll save stress. With increased speed, organizations will be flexible and agile. The value of conversation and dialogue will go up. Because there will become powerful ways of moving things forward without power struggles, political correctness, or indeed cheap individual self-service. Absenteeism will reduce as healthy coexistence, collaboration, and mutual dependence and pulling together come and move people forward. Resources will become available. Contribution will go from contribution to myself to contribution to others. Passion will explode in the workplace. When there is the unconditional presence of love in the workplace, unconditional love, and it's operational and it's acting, productivity will go through the roof. Shareholder value will escalate. Returns will accelerate, and surpluses can be diverted and faster to locations and places and economies of greater need. And people like my friend in Ethiopia will have no need to live 90 meters from a rubbish dump. If the power, and when it is, of love, unconditional love, is unleashed in the workplace, it's amazing. It's amazing what results can be created. Extraordinary results will be created even by the most ordinary of people. I plead with you, my friends, if this is so clearly the case, and I think you'll agree with me that it is, then why not? Why not? Why not unleash the power of unconditional love, fully accepting all of who you are, love, in the workplace, so that extraordinary results can be created, not just for business, but also for communities, for society, and indeed our world. Thank you.